go to one of my favorite matches from this one, which ends up being the Macho Man, Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which this match goes for 14 minutes and 40 seconds. It is at this point in time, I believe that this is the longest match of the night, but it is not the longest segment because later on we do get like 15 minutes plus of Vince McMahon hyping the match between Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan.
Right.
But besides that, Maria, you were rooting for the Macho Man?
Well, I
or
mean,
were you torn?
I was torn, but I was also rooting for Lady Elizabeth's jewelry because it was nice and sparkly and she looked gorgeous. So, but like you said, I was torn. Definitely a fan of Ricky, and Macho. So it was a little tough. I mean, I'm rooting for Ricky, but Macho Man has a little piece of my heart. So, what about you?
I just want to mention how beautiful Miss Elizabeth looked like. Wow, stunning. Of course, I love both Ricky and Randy. I remember watching this when I was a kid. It was tough to see both of them. Like pick a winner out of both because you kind of root for both. The match is unbelievable. I think it's like a 5-star match in my book.
Oh, yeah. 5 stars.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
We got to do a rating.
No, we're not here to do any Melter type rating.
No rating, not like 5 suplexes.
No,
10 out of 10 suplexes.
I think that's just giving the people at the end of the podcast what matches we recommend for them to just watch if they do not want to watch 3 hours plus of wrestling.
Okay.
And
we'll do it for you.
I think that's enough. Yeah,
we'll watch.
We're watching these WrestleManias, so you don't have to. But let's go move on to breaking this down as much as we do, because I think this whole match is just basically like a good example of ring storytelling.
Okay.
You know, you have Macho Man doing his best to put Ricky Steamboat over with all of his moves, all of the arm drags that Ricky Steamboat throws out there. We have, not only Macho Man trying to keep his attention on Ricky, but he also has to watch George the Animal Steel and make sure he does not run off with Elizabeth again.
Yep.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know how I could forget about George the Animal Steel.
Yeah, and this is one of the other matches where I mentioned, or Josh had mentioned that someone was being worn down, and this is another example of someone being worn down. Once Macho Man gains control, he's wearing down Ricky Steamboat and pretty much working it where, you get that is, if you're a little kid like me and Josh probably were, if we were watching this live, we probably would have been like, come on, Ricky, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can beat Macho Man.
Oh, that's super cute.
But, looking at it now, I was just like, no, Macho Man, you did a great job, and you were robbed, and you should have won. Rest in peace, Macho.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this is a solid match. This is a good match. One of your favorites, right?
Right.
One of your favorites.
Yes.
I thought I was fine. Like, this is okay.
This is okay. This is not you're not adding on to your list of this was the second or third good match for you?
No, I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but Tiger was definitely working hard for that win.
The Tiger?
Not Tony the Tiger.
No, Dragon, you mean?
What am I doing? Where am I? What's happening? Okay, so that's the fourth one.
The third one.
I don't know if we're counting. Are we counting?
I don't know. I better start making a graphic for how many
counter in the corner.
Yeah. And, the TYJ, the Tiger. What was the second one, Josh?
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay.
Oh, we'll have to think about
Yeah.
that. If you heard what the second name was that Maria mixed up of the nicknames, drop a comment.
Right.
So,
Woo.
anything else stick out for you here, Josh? Is
Oh,
it's just pretty much it goes
uh,
Ricky starts off hot, Macho
yeah.
gains control, Macho dominates for pretty much most of the match, and then Ricky manages to power up and score the win here.
Yeah, one of the things that stuck out is the fact that Jesse the Body kept messing up by calling Ricky the Dragon Steamboat injury on his larynx. He kept calling it larynx.
Wow.
I mean, that's one of those weird words where like larynx.
Yep.
You know,
Is there larynx like here?
your throat. I think you might have been busy keeping the tot occupied when we were watching this.
Okay.
So you might have missed the video package that they, like I mentioned, started producing video packages so you could catch up with the story.
I like those. Yeah.
So it's good, especially if you're doing a rewatch, because now you get to kind of get some exposition as to why something's happening and why this match is built up.
Right.
So, but yeah, Macho Man picks up Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and then drops him kind of on his throat or larynx area on those steel railings that they have on ringside to keep the crowd away from the ring.
So what you're saying is that he got railed.
One way of looking at it.
Got it.
And then he also took the ring bell and
yeah, that's pretty much towards the end of the match. Macho can't believe that Ricky's still over here hanging around, and he hits the flying elbow again, but instead of someone kicking out like George the Animal Steel, there's no ref because their ref took a bump.
Yes.
Wow.
So Macho's had enough. He's getting robbed. And so he's decided that he's going to put an end to it all and take the ring bell away from the timekeeper. But that's when George the Animal Steel interferes and pushes Randy off, and Ricky rolls him up for the 1-2-3 pin and win.
Yep.
And any other takes before we move on?
I miss Howard Finkel and his "and new." And
you miss him saying that, or you missed when he said it?
I miss both.
Yeah, rest in peace to Fink. But he was a great announcer. He kind of has his little oopsies, daisies, like I think in the first and maybe in the second WrestleMania. But overall, he is one of those like notable ring announcers where he pretty much defines the WrestleMania era when new champions are coming in and winning, or even sometimes when the champion retains and he's like, and still. He just had a great voice.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if someone could comment on this, but I counted 21 false finishes.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of false finishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's a false finish?
A false finish is pretty much well, it's not a false finish, but I think a lot of I think what Josh is referring to is a lot of 2-count pins.
Okay.
So it's when he rolls them up in a small package and the ref is 1-2 and you think he's gonna hit 3. Because now in modern times you don't get a lot of small package wins. Whereas before you would see like the occasional, like in this one, you get a small package for a win. Now, I don't know, and that's where we'll have to make a note of it here as to when finishers become more frequently used in matches to be a definitive win in a match. We already did see one where, like we said, Macho Man last year or last WrestleMania 2 had George Animal Steel kicked out of his flying elbow drop. So that was the first, kick out of a finisher that we saw. But actually I do know when the next one comes, but that one's not too far away and I don't want to spoil anything for Maria. So
I can't wait to pay attention to those false finishes.
yeah, so this is a near fall,
Yeah.
and now there was like a lot of near falls here. That's what they call them.
Right.
So
Well, that takes us to 10.